JJM Leadership. JJM Leadership. JJM Leadership Foundation. JJM Leadership Foundation.
Good day and welcome to JJM Leadership Foundation podcast, where we hope to empower you into your greatness. Meet our next guest in the other podcast. See you on the other.
Hello, everybody. Let me take this time just to welcome you into our podcast. We always appreciate that you have chosen us amongst any other thing that you could be doing tonight. But you chose to be with us. You chose to be part of our conversation. You chose to be part of what we are doing. And our desire and our wish is to make sure that we bring you the content that it's able to uplift you, the content that it's able to make you a better person. I want you to understand this, that the content that we are bringing for you in this area, it is a content that should be able to make you a better person. But you must also understand from your perspective that it is impossible for us to help you to become the best person you can ever think or imagine. And I think where we need to start from your willingness to become a better person. Your willingness to become a person that starts from nowhere to something. That is what we want to see you experiencing in the content that we bring into the space. Right? Let us do the honors. I don't want a situation where we are starting this podcast without you inviting just a single person that you believe can benefit out of this podcast. I know that, ladies and gentlemen, sometimes we get used to a platform, we get comfortable to a platform, but then forgot that there are other people that need this message better than the others. But I don't want you to be selfish in your thinking. You can just do a simple thing. Just share. I'm waiting for you to share. Invite your family, invite your brothers, invite some of the people that you know they are in your network. And that is why we know that your network determines your net worth. So you cannot be a bigger person. You cannot be a person that achieved greatness in their lives without us looking at the network that you have around yourselves. So I want you to do me a favor. If you believe in our platform, you believe that our message is important, you believe that whatever we're doing here, it's imperative, so that we are able to grow one another and become better in the best way possible. I want you to just do me that favor. You share this. I want you to make sure that you are sharing this. If you are able to text someone so that they're able to come through, you can also do the same. But you may have noticed that the best way, I think, in the social media platform, in particular Facebook, that there are new settings of tagging people. So when you tag a person, it may not be obvious that they are able to see what we're doing. But the best way is when you are sharing. So when you share, those that are following you, those that are around you, are able to see what we are doing in the platform. So they are able to see what we're doing in the platform. My desire is to make sure that we continue to inspire one another into our greatness. So today it's another packed session. It's going to be inspiring. Don't be in despair. Don't despair. It's going to be a very, very great session. something that empowers you into your greatness. So I want you to make sure that you stay tuned. The other thing that I also want to appreciate is that I also want you to participate. I want you to participate in what we're doing here. If there is something, a takeaway, ladies and gentlemen, that particular thing that you believe, it is resonating with you, just write it on the comment box. These interactions, they help us because, in some way, I am aware that I'm not alone in this platform. I am with you. So you are our followers, and there is a reason why we continue to bring you this content, because we know that it is the content that inspires people into their greatness. So wherever you are, I want to believe that you are becoming a bigger and a better person. So I'm not going to bring back what we discussed last week. But if there is something that you have learned as well, go back, or you have missed, go back into our previous podcast. You've got everything into the same page, which is at JJM Foundations. So you will be able to find a lot of content that we are broadcasting in the platform. Is that okay? So let's continue to interact. For those that would like to invite us into their events, you want us to speak into your next conference, don't hesitate to talk to us using the contacts on the bottom of the screen. You will be able to see our email there, info@jjmfoundations.org. Interact with us. So today, I am going to share with you something that it is part of my reflection in terms of leaders, but in particular, those that are employed leaders, those that are finding themselves in the workplace. There is something that I want to share with you that I believe is going to help you to become a better person. I want to say this to you, ladies and gentlemen, tonight, that in my sessions, when I talk about personal branding, there are areas that I cover. For companies, I am able to cover an employee branding and also an employer branding. So out of the content which I normally share, in terms of the employee branding, I want to be able to share with you tonight in terms of what are those, traits that you are able to see in terms of those employees that are negative, those employees that have disconnected within the organization. How are you able to see them? So I want to say this to you, ladies and gentlemen. I've said this in some of the posts that I've made during the course of the week. If you're following me, you will be able to know that that is my thread and that is my line of thinking. I want to say to you that generally all of us, we want to see ourselves as employers. It is most of the time we want to see ourselves as employers. We want to see ourselves employing people. We want to see our companies growing. We want to see ourselves, being in the position where we are the ones who are calling the shots. So most or sometimes, even if you are successful in that line, you become successful in being the manager, you become successful in being the founder of the organization. There is something that is very common that it's expected from business people and also employees. And that is to work very hard. That is to bring your A game into the space. So tonight, I want to address those that are remaining at employees. But it does not mean that as an employer, you are not able to learn from what I'm going to be sharing with you. Because anyway, what I'm sharing with you is going to be something as well that helps you to be able to interact with your employees better. And I know that companies at some point, they use scientific tools to be able to, to extract data, to extract information from their employees so that they're able to understand, the employee engagement in particular. So companies will do that. But as employers, follow my presentation tonight. It is going to help you big time. It's going to help you big time so that you are able to see those employees that are disengaged within the organization. And of course, if you see them as talent, it may mean that you need to do something different. Write that on the comment box. Tonight, we are going to reflect on employees that are disengaged. I don't want to call them bad employees. I don't want to call them employees that are not interested, but let's just call them disengaged employees. That is what I'm going to be talking to you about tonight. I'm talking to you about disengaged. And so when you are listening to me, you must understand that I'm talking to you with the same understanding that some of you are self-employed, some of you are employed in non-profit organization. You could be employed in a church. You could be employed in a foundation like ours. You could be employed in a corporate world. You could be employed in government. But how do you see that you are a disengaged employee? How are we able to see that you have become a disengaged employee? So it is important for us to look at this, because it's going to help you to always reflect to that. So the first thing that I want to share with you that should help you to understand, it's your barometer. It must help you to understand where you are as an employee. It must help you to understand where you are in terms of your engagement within the work environment. The first thing is that employee that is disengaged, and that person, they complain a lot. So bad employees, ladies and gentlemen, always complain, and there is nothing that is good in their environment. Nothing is good. So they will go and complain about everything. You offer them a particular coffee in the environment. They will talk about how bad your coffee is. They will talk about how bad you are treating them, because somehow they are disengaged employees. They are disengaged employees. And some of them, as we look at some of the terminologies that we find in organizational development, you also have employees that are resigned. You are employed in that organization, but somehow you are a resigned employee. So it means you're just waiting for that call that says, come for an interview. And if they ask you, when are you ready to start? Most of the time we will say with immediate effect, oh, just give me a day, give me a week. So their notice period becomes as short as possible, because they don't want to be in that organization anymore. So how we see them, and I think you can look at the traits. You can also check in your teams, who are those people that are complaining a lot, and those people that complains a lot in your organization, those people that keeps on raising concern, everything around them, it's so bad. You must understand that it means these employees or these workers or these associates, if I may call it, they are somehow disengaged in terms of their participation with you. Is that okay? We can work with that. So the first thing is that those employees are they complain a lot. Number two, the employees that are disengaged are those that makes a lot of excuses. I want you to just drop, in the comment box, the thumbs down. You can write, in the comment box, that you've got people who make what? They make a lot of excuses. So we make the thumbs down. So these employees or these associates, yes, we understand there are others who are complaining, but there are those who make a lot of excuses. So every day there is a lot of excuses. Some of them, every Monday, you know that you are going to find a particular complaint. You are going to find a particular concern from your team members, because somehow, a Monday for them, it is a blue Monday. Monday does not become a working day for them. So as an employer, or as an associate, you must try to look at at those traits. You look at those personality traits, or those characteristics from your team members. And these people are complaining about everything. That demonstrate that they are disengaged. So it means they make a lot of excuses. Why didn't you do this? It is because of that. Why didn't you come to work? It was because it was raining. Why didn't you come to work? It was because my car did this, that. So you have a lot of people in the environment where we are that are finding themselves in the space that we are in. So I want to just challenge you, ladies and gentlemen, and say tonight, as we continue to engage, I want you to make sure that in our engagement you continue to to participate. Don't forget that we are writing on that comment box Don't forget that we're writing in that comment box. We're making sure that whatever we're discussing here tonight, it is something that resonates with you. These are people who gives a lot of excuses. Why didn't you achieve your objectives? Why didn't you do what? 1, 2, 3. Some of them, they will even tell you it is because you did not tell them what they are supposed to do. The number 3 thing that you're going to find and you try to measure if your employees are engaged is lack of enthusiasm. Enthusiasm. I want to say to you, ladies and gentlemen, if you lack a passion in whatever you're doing, you lack passion in your work environment, you lack passion about the work that you do, we will be able to see by the lack of enthusiasm. We will be able to see that there's no excitement in everything that you do. You lack a lot of excitement in it could be in terms of the projects that you're working on. It could be because of things that you need to do within the organization. There is that lack of enthusiasm. You've got people that keeps on dragging others with so much negative energy. And one of the things that I told myself, and I think in the work environment, is that if there are things that are going wrong, I always avoid people that keeps on complaining about everything. Because you know why? If I listen to all these complaints, I listen to everyone that is complaining about everything in their environment. They complain, as we have indicated. At the end of the day, I will lose my vigor. I will lose my energy level. I will also lose my enthusiasm. So I'm not able to bring my A game into the work environment. So our expectation, ladies and gentlemen, is that in that environment where you are, we want to make sure that there is growth. We want to make sure that, that environment, you are going to bring your A game. And that is our expectation as we continue to remind you of what you should do. But remember, you are not looking at this thing as an employer only, but you're also looking at yourself. And this will help you when you know what is happening around you, when you are aware, when you are mindful of what is happening around you. That will help you, ladies and gentlemen, to become the best person in life. I have seen a lot of people that are so disengaged in such a way that they are not aware of their environment. They are not aware about what is happening around them. So I want you to be aware of these things. I want you to be aware that, when something like this is happening, it may mean that you are disengaged in that organization. It's about time maybe that you need to find ways of giving yourself new energy or finding something else that you are able to do. So the number 4 thing that you also need to look at is you've got people that do not offer any help. You've got people that do not offer any help. And I want to say this to you, ladies and gentlemen, that if you want to see people that are confident, you want to see people that are content, these are people that are willing to share their knowledge. They are willing to share their return on experience. They are willing to share what they know. Because if we don't share what we know, we don't share, somehow, when we protect our own kingdoms, we protect our own environment with the knowledge that we have, it demonstrates the level of your capacity, the knowledge of your confidence. Because those that are confident, they are willing to help others. Because when we help others, we learn more. When we help others, we find, even other ways, innovative ways on how we deal with our new or the challenges that we may have in our environment. Have you ever seen in the work environment, new employees will come, students will come, as interns, they will come as doing experiential training. But when they arrive in our environment, some of you end up even treating these young people as if they've got leprosy. They are not supposed to be in your environment, as if one day in your career no one gave you an opportunity. Some of you are working not because you were excellent in whatever you were doing. You grew over the period of time, but at the beginning you could not even express yourself within the interview. But the interviewer said to themselves, you know what, there is something that I need to unearth from this person. There is something that I can also find from this candidate. So you must understand that you are where you are because somebody gave you an opportunity. You are where you are because somebody believed in you when others around you did not believe in you. That is why you went for that interview, they rejected you. You went for the second time, they rejected you. You even went to as many as possible that you are not even able to count those that have rejected you in your own space. So, ladies and gentlemen, understand this. It's imperative. if you want to see a person that is engaged, you want to see people that are successful in their own environment or in their own world, you will realize that these people are able to help others. All right? So a person who doesn't help others in the work environment, you must know that employee, it's horrible. That employee has disengaged. Okay? So let's look on the fifth one. The fifth one is that these people, they gossip a lot. These people, they do what? They gossip a lot. They gossip a lot. So the employees that are disengaged, they do what? They gossip a lot. We may have mentioned that they complain a lot, but there is a difference, because gossiping, complaining, you may be complaining to about their environment and all that, but gossiping now, we even go into the depth where we do character assassination of others. We speak ill of others as if that will change our status and how we feel on day to day. Have you ever realized that when you make other people feel so bad, you become horrible as well? You feel so horrible as well. But the best way on how you can lift up your mood in the work environment is to be able to see the good out of others. So can I say this to you? People that sometimes, they sit and gossip about others, they sometimes think that their world is a perfect world. They think that, their world does not need any adjustment. Their world, I will say it's a perfect world. But you must understand that when you gossip, it does not mean that you don't have your own issues. When you gossip about others, it does not mean that there is nothing that other people around you are concerned about. So I want to say this to you tonight, that one of the things that demonstrate that you have disengaged in a work environment, it's when you talk about others. And that is why they always say that successful people, they don't talk about others. Successful people, they don't gossip about others. Successful people, ladies and gentlemen, they discuss ideas. They discuss innovative ideas. That's what they do. That's what successful people do. And I want to say this to you tonight, that as a successful person, you need to make sure that you focus on ideas that helps you to become what? A bigger person. Is that okay? Can we do that? It is important, ladies and gentlemen. I want to dwell in this point that when we gossip about other people, we destroy the morale of others. And we have seen this, this is not only happening in corporate, but this happens in non-profit organizations, it happens in churches. Somehow, one of the things that we have missed, as a key element in life is the ability to confront truth. We have missed that ability to confront truth. So we need to be able to confront the truth. We need to be able to confront people with the truth instead of gossiping about them, because that does not change a behavior and that does not change people's lives. So one of the things that we see that you are disengaged in a work environment, it's when you've got so much time to talk about others instead of talking about ideas that can help us to grow as an organization. So we will be able to see as employers, we will be able to see as managers, we will be able to see, as business people, that our employers, they've got nothing to do. That is why they've got so much time to talk about other people as if they don't have issues of their own. Is that okay? So please just take note of that. Write it on the comment box as well. Gossip. When you start to gossip about other people, that's when we see that it's like you have lost the plot, you have lost the direction, you have lost the direction that you need to take. Number 6, it's lies. Yes, it's another thing to gossip, but there is also another element of lies. This is where people now present half truth and and do not present the whole truth. So when we want to see if people are so disengaged in organization, it's when they are telling a lot of lies. They tell a lot of lies. They make up things. They will talk about things that are non-existent. And some of them, you will be so surprised as managers that some of them are even achieving promotion because they lied about other people. I'm not saying go and write people that have talked bad about you, but I want you to think in your surrounding, Who could be? What are those stories? What are those stories that they were not true about you, but somehow they messed up relationships. Somehow they messed up, how you interact with others in the work environment. So I want to say to you, as an employee, as a resource that organizations bring, hoping that you are going to turn things around, we start to see people walking in lies. And I want to say to you, one of the things that we must understand with where we are going as people, as countries, as organization, one of the topics that is going to rise and become so much better, it's a topic of ethics. Organizations are looking for ethical people. Organizations are looking for people that can be trusted, people with integrity, people that we know they can be trusted. That is what organizations are looking for. So my question is, are you that employee? Are you that resource that I can recommend to say this person can be able to take a particular role in the organization? I want to stop with point number 7. I'm hoping that time in the near future will allow us to be able to talk about the other pointers. But the other 7 point is that those people that are disengaged or that are horrible in your organization are those who knows it all. Have you ever seen that there are people who knows it all in our environment? People that, they present themselves as if they are the all-knowing. In our environment, we know that, at some point, in actual fact, we know that the all-knowing is God. But somehow, these people, they've become the all-knowing people. They've become the all-knowing. They know everything about what is happening in house number A, what is happening in so and so's house. They know everything. So they know it all. And people who knows it all, ladies and gentlemen, they are very difficult to correct. So as employees, these people who knows it all, it becomes very difficult for them to grow an organization with you. I want to just repeat those 7 pointers that we spoke about that are traits of disengaged employees or traits of horrible employees, people that you must always be careful about. So if you are going to tick a box and you say this one is for me and this one is not for me, make some changes, make some alteration. It does not harm. But at least today, you know what makes, what is that barometer? What is the dipstick that you can use to check how engaged you are? As an employee, remember, you cannot be branded with all these 7 things that I've spoken about. You cannot be branded with that. You need to remember that these people, they complain a lot. That is number 1. They complain a lot. Number 2, they make a lot of excuses about everything. Number 3, they lack enthusiasm. There is no passion at all. There is no courage at all. There is nothing that that can make you feel that you want to be around these people. They also do not help others. These people, they want to hide everything that they know. They want to hide the information against their counterparts because somehow they think that will give them something, should I say something, a leverage. Yeah, just for lack of better words, it will give them a leverage. Number 5, these people, they gossip a lot. They've got time to gossip and talk about others. Number 6, these people, they lie. These people, they lie so bad in such a way that they don't even feel it anymore. And the last one, these people, they know it all. They are the all-knowing. So these people, you must be careful about. Do you want to be a best employee? Do you want to be a best person in life? Always be careful about these traits that we spoke about. On that note, thank you for watching our broadcast tonight. We are hoping that there is something, of course, that you've learned for yourself, something that is going to help you to become a better person, a person of valor, or a person of character, and a person of ethics. Thank you for watching. God bless you, and meet you at the top where you belong.